came from heaven to earth to show the way.
Romans 2. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Introduction. This is a fictional world in which the Word of God is the absolute law. Jury selection. Members of the jury. Mr. N, a father of 3, however, got so drunk that he ended up naked. Mr. I has 12 sons and 2 wives because he got so drunk he could no longer recognize his fiancée. Mrs. E, a respectable queen in Iran, Asia, very beautiful, wise, and honest, likes spa treatments a little too much. Mr. M, a political leader in the Middle East, known to be meek and wise although he has presented moments of anger. Mrs. R, a mother of 2, is kind but deceived her husband into selling the company rights to her second son. Mrs. H, a mother and co-wife, was barren for many years until she had her first son, who is a prime minister. She specifically asked for a son though. Try and guess who these people are. Opening statements. The prosecution. Lisa Truman. Mr. Maxwell Arnold has been accused of being in possession of drugs and an offensive weapon while conducting a police stop and check. There is reason to suspect that he was on his way to distribute the drugs at a high-profile nightclub in the town nearby from surveillance footage monitoring his route. Furthermore, drug tests have been positive, being in violation of Section 4(1) RTA 1988 by driving whilst being unfit to drive because of drugs, endangering members of the public. But most importantly, he is in violation of 1 Corinthians 6:20 and should be charged with 1 Corinthians 3:17. The defense. Mr. J. Today, Mr. Maxwell Arnold has been accused of being in possession of drugs, an offensive weapon, and drug driving, but there is reason to believe that Mr. Arnold in fact is a pawn in a scheme that involved much more people than him, a victim of his circumstances. Mr. Arnold here used to be a respectable marketing manager at Ingram, the social media platform. We have reasons to believe that because Mr. Arnold wouldn't agree to approve certain marketing campaigns, he was laid off by one of the board members, Mr. S. After losing his job, it appears like he was blackballed and was not able to find a job afterwards, making him resort to drug dealing to make a living, all orchestrated by Mr. S. We in fact suspect that Mr. S is the drug distributor and as such should be absolved from the charges according to Romans 2:11 and Ephesians 6:12. Mr. S should also be prosecuted, and then we can even consider charging the defendant. Try and guess who Mr. J and Mr. S are. Testimonies. The prosecution. So when it comes to testimonies, normally the prosecution presents its case and then gives its overall closing argument, and then is the defense. They bring the testimonies, the evidence, and then the closing arguments. Direct examination of witness Mark Posh. Did Mr. Arnold ever sell you drugs? No, he sold drugs to your sister though, correct? Yes. Could you please tell me and the members of the jury why she is not testifying herself today? Because she overdosed and is currently hospitalized. What are the chances of recovery? She's in a critical state and might not make it past the month. No further questions. Direct examination of witness Sharon Justice. You work at the nightclub Mr. Arnold was making his way to, correct? Yeah. What's your job at the nightclub? I make drinks. How do you know Mr. Arnold? I've seen him around. In the club? Yes. Doing what? I don't know. Here's some pictures to refresh your memory. Do you remember now? Yes. So what was he doing? I just know he went there to do business, okay? No further questions. Cross-examination of witness Sharon Justice. Sharon, have you ever spoken to Mr. Arnold? I can't remember. Are you sure? Yes, I did. I remember now. What do you guys talk about? About life? Do you remember what he said? He talked about how there were tough times for him. He seemed like a cool guy, and I asked him why he kept doing what he was doing. He told me he used to work at Ingram. I chuckled. How could someone who had worked for Ingram end up like that? It's hard to believe, you know. What else? He said that if he had the option not to, he wouldn't be doing, but that no matter where he applied, he would get rejected until a supposed Mr. X offered him to partake in the family business, whatever that means, and the rest is history. No further questions, Your Honor. Direct examination of witness Jonathan Meyers. Mr. Meyers, do you know Mr. Arnold? Yes. Where do you know him from? We used to be friends back when I was still living in the streets. How long ago was that? About a year ago. What do you now do for a living? I'm a day trader. Day trading requires you to have initial capital. How did you manage to obtain it? The business mogul Mr. S subsidized me after hearing my story. Really? That seems very kind of him, correct? Yes, more than you can imagine. And have you been in contact with Mr. Arnold ever since? No. Why? You see, light has no fellowship with darkness. What makes you say that? Originally, we both had hopes to make it out of the streets, but then he started hanging out with these people and I wasn't about their life, so eventually we both went our separate ways. Mr. Arnold was found with an offensive weapon on the day of his arrest. Here is a picture of it. You remember seeing him with it? Yes, but he wasn't the one carrying it. It was one of those guys. What did he use it for? He went around terrorizing people with it. Why would Maxwell even think of having something like that with him? What did he intend to do with that? No further questions, Your Honor. Cross-examination of witness Jonathan Meyers. Jonathan, you said Mr. Arnold started hanging out with new people, correct? Yes. Did he tell you how he got to know them? Through work? But if I'm correct, Mr. Arnold wasn't working at the time. Not in a legitimate place, for sure. He was into some shady business. Mr. Meyers, you said light has no fellowship with darkness, correct? Yes. And by light you mean yourself, correct? Yes. Are you then saying that you're a light to those in darkness? You can say that, yes. John 1:15, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Tell me, Jonathan, as the light, how will you overcome the darkness? I don't know. Ephesians 6:18, praying at all times in the Spirit with all prayer and supplication. To that end, keep alert with all perseverance, making supplication for all the saints. Jonathan, did you intercede for Maxwell when he was in a dark place? No. Did Mr. Arnold ever tell you about Mr. X? Yes, he worked for him. I don't know if that's still the case. No further questions, Your Honor. Physical evidence. Surveillance footage shows that Mr. Arnold on his way to the nightclub ignored various traffic lights. Speed cameras also show that he went beyond the speed limit. All these are evidence of reckless driving, endangering the members of the public. Mr. Arnold was in violation of Philippians 2:4. Let each of you look not only to his own interest but also to the interest of others. Testimonies from the defense. Direct examination of witness Grace Preston. Miss Preston, where do you know Mr. Arnold from? He used to work at Ingram. And what's your position at the company? I'm a board director. So tell me, how will you describe Mr. S? Charismatic, very persuasive. Enough to convince the entire board of directors to wrongfully fire Mr. Arnold? Yes. And how will you describe Mr. Arnold prior to being fired? Very hardworking and honest. Grace, tell me, what made you want to testify today? I'm deeply regretful towards Mr. Arnold. I don't know what took over me. Mr. S offered to sell us some of his shares in exchange. I was in great need of the money. I had just gone through a divorce and I was in a custody battle. I needed the money to pay for lawyers. Our records show that 2 weeks later, Mr. S bought a new car. Did you see Mr. S with a new car? Yes, a red Rolls Royce. Did that surprise you? Yes, I wonder where he got the money from. Objection overruled. No further questions, Your Honor. Cross-examination of witness Grace Preston. Miss Preston, you said Mr. Arnold was a hardworking and honest man, correct? Yes. You could even argue that he was an invaluable asset to the company, correct? Yes. If he was that valuable to the company, how come it was that easy to let him go? As I've already explained, Mr. S offered to sell his shares, but couldn't it be argued that keeping the asset that Mr. Arnold has been claimed to be would benefit company profits and ultimately benefit you? Yes, and the company profits changed much after he was let go? No, so me and the honorable members of the jury wouldn't be wrong to assume that he wasn't as valuable to the company as he has been previously established, correct? No. Besides his absence not affecting the company, he refused to approve certain marketing campaigns, correct? Yes, which can be seen as defiant, right? Yes, but just answer the question, please. Yes, and defiant authority isn't a characteristic found in a good employee, correct? Yes. So you would agree that he's in violation of Romans 13:1, right? Sorry, I'm not too sure what you mean. Romans 13:1, let every person be subject to the governing authorities, but there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Is Mr. Arnold in violation of this law? Yeah. Yes, so was Mr. Arnold let go because of Mr. S, as Mr. J claims, or because he was an uncooperative and thus incompetent employee? I don't know. No further questions, Your Honor. Redirect examination of Grace Preston. Grace, Mr. Arnold refused to approve certain marketing campaigns, correct? Yes. Why? Objection overruled. The company wanted to appeal more to the younger generation by following the latest trends. How? By promoting freedom of expression. How? The models in our marketing campaigns are sexy. What does that mean? They're skimpy clothes. Is Ingram in violation of 1 Corinthians 10:31? So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God? Yes. And if Ingram is in violation of 1 Corinthians 10:31, is Ingram instituted by God? No. Whose idea was to have this marketing campaign? Mr. S. So is Mr. S in violation of 1 Corinthians 10:31? Objection. Mr. Mann, what's the issue? The question is irrelevant to the case, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm trying to prove Ephesians 6:12. Objection overruled. Grace, tell me and the members of the jury, is Mr. S in violation of 1 Corinthians 10:31? Yes, no further questions. Direct examination of witness Riley Fisher. Riley, what do you do for a living? I'm a singer. Do you know Mr. S? Yes. How? Initially, when I wanted to make it into the industry, he reached out to me. And why do you think that is? Because my songs gained traction on Ingram. And what was your relationship with him? Business partners. I signed a sponsorship with Ingram. What was it like working with Mr. S? Intense. I didn't like it. What were you required to do as part of the sponsorship? I became their puppet, had to dress and sing a certain way, and I had to appeal to the masses no matter what. I became a shell of myself. Soon after, you decided to leave, correct? Yes, I decided that enough was enough and that I no longer wanted to conform to the world. I gave my life to G. Objection sustained. How did Mr. S react? Not well. He was furious. He threatened to get me cancelled and end my music career. He went on about how he knew people, that it was over for me and that I wouldn't be the first person he had done this to. Did he mention any names when he said that? Maxwell something, sorry, I don't remember. No further questions, Your Honor. Cross-examination of witness Riley Fisher. Miss Fisher, you were compensated heavily for the sponsorship, correct? Correct. And you got to travel the world, correct? Yes, but just answer the question. Yes. You used part of the money to buy a house in CTA, correct? Yes. You were that miserable, yet you managed to buy a mansion and afford a luxurious lifestyle? Shouldn't you be more grateful? Objection, Your Honor. Objection sustained. Mike 8:36. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? No further questions, Your Honor. Direct examination of witness John Hart. Mr. Hart, what do you do for a living? I work as a janitor at Ingram. And do you know Mr. S? Yes. How often do you see him? Not very often. I see him here and there, also maybe before he's about to leave his office. Have you observed any strange behavior from him? I've seen the frequency of his calls increase. He seems stressed about something. Did you overhear any of the conversations he was having while on the calls? Yes, it seemed like he was giving someone instructions. Could you please repeat what he said? He said something like, make sure he's found with it. On the day of Mr. Arnold's arrest, he was found with an offensive weapon, but police body cam showed that although Mr. Arnold was speeding and ignored traffic lights prior to encountering the police officers, at that very moment he was not engaging in any dangerous activity, giving the police no reason to stop him unless they were looking for something. This body camera footage shows the police ignoring questioning and immediately searching the car. Mr. Hart, can you identify the object the officers found? That's a knife, sir. On the night you overheard Mr. S, what else did he say? He talked about a batch needing to arrive next week. The company shipwright has record of selling 6 container ships to Mr. S in the past year. Objection, Your Honor. Mr. J and the shipwright company are in violation of client confidentiality. Mr. J, please explain yourself. Your Honor, client confidentiality can be breached if there is reason to believe that the client has committed a crime. Objection overruled. Continue. The company shipwright has record of selling 6 container ships to Mr. S in the past year. Could you please take a look, Mr. Hart, at the company documents and confirm that that's correct? Yes, that's correct. It is a well-known fact that secret organizations like gangs, for example, use signs to identify themselves, and Mr. X's organization is no different. Here is a picture. What sign can you see on the screen, Mr. Hart? 2 hands forming a pyramid. Here are some close-ups of the container ships. Although it is small, you can see that there is something drawn on them. John, tell me and the members of the jury, what can you see? A pyramid. No further questions. Cross-examination of witness John Hart. You mentioned you don't see Mr. S very often, correct? Yes. To be able to recognize strange behavior from someone, one should be familiar with the person. Is this a case for you, Mr. Hart? No. Are you aware that Mr. S has multiple business endeavors, like for example being a major investor for Pineapple? No. Here is the picture of the notorious gang thug sign. What can you see? A pyramid. No further questions. With direct examination of witness John Hart. You mentioned that the frequency of Mr. S's calls was unusual because they increased, correct? Correct. At what rate were the calls happening? After he will hang up, he will receive another call after 2 minutes. Have you heard of the gang thug? No. Are you aware that the gang does not trade with drugs but rather distribution of firearms? No. No further questions, Your Honor. Physical evidence. These are all the video and photo evidence to support that Maxwell Arnold has been framed by Mr. X and prove the connection between Mr. S and Mr. X. There is also photographic evidence to show that Lisa Truman is in fact in collaboration with Mr. X after being spotted in City A on Street 45 Avenue on the 8th of June 2020 purchasing drugs for recreational use. Your Honor, I can explain. With Truman, I believe you said more than enough. It is evident that you are compromised. John, Romans 1:32, though they know God's righteous decree that those who practice such things deserve to die, they not only do them but give approval to those who practice them. Listen, Romans 2:1, therefore you have no excuse, O man, every one of you who judges, for in passing judgment on another you condemn yourself, because you, the judge, practice the very same things. Verdict. First of all, I would like to thank the members of the jury for their service to the court. Nonetheless, today will mark the end of your service. Due to prosecutorial misconduct, the court has decided to file for a mistrial. Thus, the trial is terminated and considered invalid. However, although I do recognize Mr. S's crimes against Mr. Arnold, considering all the evidence presented against Mr. Arnold, it is unlikely he will be absolved from his charges if we were to have another trial. Therefore, I present to you an alternative to sign a plea deal, Romans 10:9, because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. So tell me, Mr. Arnold, before you have presented life and death, what will you choose? Till the next trial.